Living heat station. Return from mental freezing to corporeality. Characters 1. Julian, 38 years old. Interface architect, a human head. He lives in a world of numbers and graphs. His body is just a transport for the brain for him. He doesn't notice hunger until he feels dizzy, and he doesn't feel cold until his lips turn blue. 2. Althea guide, the owner of the high-altitude shelter, Hearth. She does not talk about feelings. She talks about textures. Her task is to restore Julian's connection with his physical shell. 3. Clara violinist, another guest of the orphanage. She experienced a strong shock and turned off her senses so that it would not hurt. Now she is learning to feel the weight of the bow again. 4. Snowstorm, an external circumstance that locks the characters in a space where there is no internet, but there are many physical sensations. Kurorogu glass armor. Julian came to the mountains because his processor overheated. He stopped sleeping. His skin was as pale as paper, and his movements were mechanical. He walked from the parking lot to the shelter, and the wind and snow beat in his face, but he did not feel it. He simply recorded the fact. Wind. The temperature is below zero. We need to get there. Althea's house greeted him with a heavy oak door. Come in, Bigfoot, Althea said, not even looking at him. She was stirring something in a cast iron pot. Take off your armor. You won't need them here. Julian began to unbutton his jacket. His fingers were white and hard as chalk. He didn't feel them. He just saw them trying to cope with the buttons. Aren't you cold? Clara asked, sitting in the corner in a huge woolen sweater. I don't know, Julian answered honestly. I don't think so. Body pause number 1. Right now, wherever you are, pay attention to your feet. Feel how they touch the floor. Are they warm or cold? Do shoes squeeze them? Just notice this feeling without trying to change it. Now shift your attention to the palms of your hands. Rub them together. Feel the friction and incipient warmth. This is your first point of contact with the here and now. Part 1. Weight awakening. Althea put a mug in front of Julian. It was heavy, made of rough burnt clay. Don't drink right away, she commanded. Just hold it. Feel the weight. Julian wrapped his hands around the mug. At first, nothing happened. He saw the steam, smelled cinnamon and apples, but his hands were like someone else's. And suddenly, slowly, the first tingling broke through the glass armor. It was as if thousands of tiny needles began to dance under the skin. Oh! He burst out. It's the blood that remembers the way to the fingers. Clara smiled. At first, it's unpleasant. It's like waking up after a very long sleep. Julian felt the warmth of the mug pass into his bones. It was almost frightening. It turned out that he had hands. Not just printing tools, but living, throbbing flesh. The body never lies, Julian Althea said. The head can think that everything is fine, but the body knows the truth. If you don't hear it, it starts screaming through illnesses. But we'll start with a whisper. Whispers of warmth. Part 2. Textures of life. The next day, a storm trapped them inside. Althea laid out various objects on the table. A piece of raw wood, a silk cloth, a cold smooth stone, a bag of dried lavender. Today we will learn to discern, she said. Julian closed his eyes. Althea put something cold and heavy into his hands. What is it? A stone. Cold. Solid. No, Althea snapped. Describe the sensation, not the name of the object. Julian concentrated. It's smooth, but there is a tiny notch on one side. It takes the warmth of my palm. It seems reliable? Good. And now this. She ran silk over his forearm. Julian shuddered. A chill ran down his spine, and then a wave of relaxation. It's like exhale, he whispered. At this time, Clara sat next to her and plucked the strings of the violin, not playing a melody, but simply listening to the vibration of the body of the instrument, pressed to the collarbone. The whole body vibrates, she said. If I clamp down, the sound dies. In order for music to live, I must become soft as wax. Body, pause. Number 2. Touch the surface of the table or the fabric of your pants dress. Run your hand slowly. What is the texture? Rough? Slippery? Soft? Try to find the area on your body where you feel the clothes most strongly, maybe a belt or collar. Take a deep breath and imagine the air filling not only your lungs, but also expanding your skin. Part 3. The Crisis of Return. By evening, Julian was overwhelmed. When feelings return to a person who has been suppressing them for a long time, they come all at once. He suddenly felt how much his neck hurt from years of strain. He felt the accumulated fatigue, which he had previously drowned out with caffeine. It hurts, he said, putting his arms around his shoulders. Everything hurts. Why didn't I feel this before? Because you were under anesthesia? Althea replied, tossing the log into the fireplace. Your freezing protected you from discomfort, but it also deprived you of pleasure. You can't turn off only pain. You either feel everything or nothing. Julian looked at the fire. Previously, fire was just a chemical reaction of oxidation for him. Now he saw the dance of orange and blue, heard the cozy crackling, and felt the heat touch his face. Clara walked over and put her hand on his shoulder. Breathe, Julian. Just breathe into this tension. Don't fight him. Tell your body, I can hear you. Thank you for being with me. Julian closed his eyes and took a conscious breath for the first time in years, feeling his ribs widen. The pain in the neck did not disappear, but it ceased to be an enemy. It became a signal. Please rest. Part 4. The Inner Hearth. The storm subsided. In the morning, the sky was piercing blue. Julian went out onto the porch. Now he felt the frost. It pinched his cheeks, made him cheer up. But inside him, deep in his stomach, burned a small flame of warmth, which he had taken from Althea's hearth. You're leaving a different person. Althea said goodbye. No, Julian smiled. I'm leaving the same person, but now I'm finally home, in his own body. He got into the car, put his hands on the steering wheel, and felt the texture of the leather. He pressed the pedal and felt the resistance of the muscles in his leg. He was alive. Every cell of his body now had a voice. Final practice, internal heat. To reinforce this story in your experience, do a simple exercise. 1. Find a heat point. Close your eyes and find the place in your body where you feel warmest or most comfortable right now, usually the center of your chest or abdomen. 2. Breath of fire. Imagine that, with each breath, this warmth expands like a golden light, filling your arms, legs, and fingertips. 3. Material action. When you're done listening, drink a glass of warm water or tea, focusing as much as possible on the sensation of the heat passing through your esophagus and spilling inside.